Okay.
Bring your mute off and away we go.
Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Thumbs up if you can hear.
Thumbs up. Yeah, awesome.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Come in a little.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
For joining Kara and I on this afternoon's first virtual art reveal party, where we will be tasting two of our current releases, the 21 White Burgundy and the 2020 Cabernet Franc. And then we'll be talking about 4 different pieces of artwork, where the last piece of artwork, you guys get to vote what label to put it on. So I am Jamie Benziger, the winemaker for Imagery Estate Winery, and I'm with one of my favorite people, Kara.
Hi, I'm Kara. I'm the art curator here at Imagery. I've been with the winery for 11 years now, and I've been working with Jamie alongside since 2016.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's been a while, and we're so excited to show you guys this process. Normally we do it behind closed doors, no one's really involved, it's just us two, and we're gonna give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes, a glimpse of what this process of assigning arts wine entails.
Yeah, so first off, if you guys have wine, if you have the wines, please pop it open, have a glass.
Yes, cheers.
Sunday afternoon. We are so excited to be hanging out with you guys and doing this. So we just appreciate everyone for coming and joining. Just kind of some housekeeping. Please, this is getting recorded. So, you know, don't do anything on the screen that you don't want to be seen. Second, we just stay muted, just because there are so many of us, so stay muted. Our wine club manager, Jen Oakes, is managing the chat, so utilize that as much as possible. Any questions, comments, she's here in the room with us, so she's gonna get that, so we'll be able to answer and do all that. But yeah,
Well, cheers, babe.
yeah, cheers.
Let's do this. This is
No,
exciting.
I know. So did you kind of want to talk about the process just a little bit and like the Parthenon?
Yeah, I'm just going to give some key points about the Imagery collection. So overall, there's about 700 artworks in the collection. The winery was started in the mid-1980s by Joe Benziger, who was the winemaker, Jamie's dad, and Bob Nugent, who was the curator. And since then, we have commissioned over 700 works of art done by over 400 artists. So yes, if you do the math, there are some artists who have created more than one piece. Of that 400 artists, about 150 of those are local to either Sonoma, Marin County, or the San Francisco Bay Area. We try to give back to the art community as much as possible. And on site in the Imagery tasting room, we have about 100 works on view These are all of our current and future releases. I just hung about 30 new pieces in the past 2 months. So if you haven't been, definitely go. There's some new art there to see.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Like Kara's just done just such an amazing job with the artwork, I will say. Like you're just so talented, Kara. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been fun. I took over from Bob Nugent as the curator back in 2015. So I really feel like my stamp is on the labels, and I see a lot of artists here. So thank you to all the artists who have joined us. I see you, I see your names. Hi, thanks for joining. We're so excited to have you guys here and all of our wine club members. For those who don't know, the way that we kind of connect the two sister wineries, the Benziger family winery and the Imagery estate winery, is the Parthenon image. So when the Benzigers bought the property, there was a Parthenon structure, and there was rumors of whether they should tear it down or keep it. And one of our first artists, Tim McDowell, decided to incorporate the piece into his work of art. And we thought, well, I didn't, I wasn't around back then. They thought, what a great idea of not only connecting these two sister wineries together, but connecting this collection together, because with over 400 artists, we have artists of different mediums, subject matters, abstract artists, representative artists. And so we thought this was the one structure that could tie the whole collection together and also connect the two sister wineries. So that is one thing that all the artists have to incorporate in our wine labels.
Yeah, which is awesome. And you know, Imagery honestly got started on the Benziger property. We didn't always have the Imagery property, you know, we didn't purchase that until 97. So Imagery was a sub brand to Benziger. So the Parthenon just made sense to tie, you know, Imagery and Benziger together. And, you know, thank God they didn't tear it down. We just actually had it renovated again, we got all the woodpecker holes, you know, buttoned up and repainted.
Yeah, fresh new paint.
Yeah,
it's looking good right now.
and it looks amazing.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that we ask all of our artists to incorporate.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it just ties the collection together and you know, brings it together. Yeah, yes. Of course. Okay, so why don't we talk about the first wine, the 2021 White Burgundy. So I don't know if you knew this, Kara, but the White Burgundy is one of Imagery's top sellers. And what's so cool about White Burgundy and the name White Burgundy is we got grandfathered in to actually call it White Burgundy. Nowadays, because of TTB and all the other laws in France, we're no longer allowed to call anything a Burgundy unless it was, you know, grown and produced and bottled in Burgundy. So this was grandfathered in. Dad told me he had a lot of hate mail from people off the bat, you know, like how dare you call something White Burgundy when it comes from Northern California. Yeah. But Dad, you know, it was our top seller. You know, we don't sell it commercially. It's all sold through our tasting room. So he really didn't see it as being a huge deal calling it White Burgundy. And what's so cool about this blend is it's the 21 vintage is 80% Chardonnay, 13% Pinot Blanc, and 7% Pinot Meunier. And the Chardonnay comes from an amazing family in the Carneros. I'm sure some of you guys have maybe heard of them, the San Giacomo family, you know, generational farming family. Now they're producing their own wine as well, but they just make standalone and high quality Chardonnay. So we get that from them. The Pinot Blanc and Pinot Meunier come from another amazing generational family in Napa, actually, the Hawksleys. And the Chardonnay adds, you know, just your true kind of, you know, apple, pear notes to the wine. The Pinot Blanc, you know, lends itself some creaminess. And then the Pinot Meunier kind of gives it a little spice. And something else you guys might not know about the White Burgundy is this wine and this blend actually happened by accident. And I found this out just talking with Dad, it was actually a cellar accident that happened. So back in the day, they were making Pinot Meunier, which is a red grape variety. They were making it as a red wine. And when the work orders went out in the cellar, someone in the cellar actually topped Chardonnay with the Pinot Meunier, and lo and behold, it ended up being like the best mistake ever. You know, what do you do? Everything is trial and tribulations, you know, sometimes the worst mistakes
Make the best outcome.
make the best outcome. And so, you know, the 21 vintage was a great vintage. We were kind of still in the drought, you know, give or take a little bit, lower yields, but it just has great concentration. You know, it has some nice oak influence on it. I would say altogether, we use about 30% new French oak on this. We do that style of winemaking called botonnage, where we stir the lees, you know, just to give it a little bit more mouthfeel. But I don't think it's overpowering with oak. So, and I think that's why this is one of maybe the top sellers, is because it is approachable and you know, refreshing to people who like Chardonnay, and then people who, you know, might be on the border of, you know, a Chardonnay style of wine.
Yes.
But yeah.
And this not only is one of our top sellers, it is my favorite wine at Imagery. That's why we are drinking it tonight. And the reason I love it is because exactly what Jamie said, there is such a good balance between the oak and the citrus that you can drink this year round. You can drink this on the hottest day in the summer, but also one of the coldest days in the winter. And I'm a Chardonnay girl, and I absolutely love the White Burgundy. So cheers to anyone who is drinking it. Also, it is for sale, so if you want to buy it in the future, you totally can. I highly recommend it.
Look at that. There's a sales lady too. I love that. So let's hear about this
Yeah.
awesome piece of artwork.
Now we're gonna get into the art. This painting is by an artist, Monica Steiner. She is born and raised in Switzerland. She lived in the United States for about 20 years, where she received her BFA at Sonoma State University.
Wow.
We're both alumni.
We are.
So we're really excited about that. And she is known for doing nature and abstract work. Her work shows nationally and internationally. And when I asked her to create this work for Imagery, she was most inspired by the perfection of the grapes and the winemaking process. And the way she translated that into her piece was the subtle layers, which you see kind of the light colors towards the left, contrasting to the darker, stronger pieces, or strong colors over here to the right. And it just adds a really good balance to the piece because it's powerful and dramatic all at once with the subtle colors. And if you can't see in the screen, the Parthenon is right here on the lower left. Sometimes it's really easy to find the Parthenon, sometimes it's a little bit harder. And just to be completely transparent, Jamie and I have not discussed what wine we think any of these pieces should go on. We really wanted to give you guys an authentic viewpoint of our process of assigning the art to wine. So every year Jamie makes 30 different wines, and with that I commission 30 different artists to create the works of art. When I commission the artists, they have no idea what wine label they're going to be on. A lot of them will say, oh, I really like red, or I really like white. They'll even request to be on certain wines like the White Burgundy or the Cab Franc. But in all hindsight, we have no idea what the art's going to be placed on. I wait till Jamie's done with harvest when she is completely exhausted.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, like in the middle of harvest.
It's unpredictable though.
Yeah, but thankfully Jamie loves me and she forgives me. So, but what we do is she gives the 30 different wines that she makes. We start with the whites and then the rosés, then we go to the reds, and then I come with 8x10 printouts of all of the works of art. We lay them all across our really big collections table at Imagery, and we start with the whites, and we assign the art to wine. And I think just working with Jamie, we are about typically 85% on the same page. We totally agree with most of the arts, and then it gets towards the end where it's a little nitpicky and we disagree a little bit, but that's the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
So Jamie.
And I think it helps too that we both know the wines very well. Like obviously I know the wines, but Tara, you know, I know she knows every single one of the wines that Imagery produces too. So we just have that added
element to it.
element to it
Yeah.
for sure. And I know what you're gonna ask me. What do you think this
What do you
should
think
go?
this should go on?
I'm not, so I kind of was just looking at it and
Well, the other thing is Jamie hasn't seen these work of art too.
Yeah.
This is all new to Jamie too,
Yeah.
so.
I kind of was like looking at it and thinking like a Grenache or a Zin. I don't know why those varietals just kind of came to me.
Yeah,
Only because like when I look at this, I think of like the light over here and the way Kara was describing it.
Contrast.
Yeah, the contrast, like, so I was thinking, I know Zinfandel is not necessarily a lighter red. So my first thought was Grenache, which is more of a medium bodied. But yeah, then I was kind of looking at it, I thought maybe Zin. I don't know. What were you thinking?
so I was also thinking Grenache, which is really funny that we're
Got
all saying that. My second guess was Malbec.
Ooh, someone wrote that in chat.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay. Again,
Okay,
we
yeah.
have our amazing wine club manager, Jen Oaks. A lot of you know her. She is utilizing the chat. So please write your comments in. She's kind of whispering it to us.
Jen, I think you should pop your head in real quick. And
Yeah,
say hi.
come on, Jen.
I think
Come
you
on.
should do it.
Jen has to say hi.
Yeah, because you are absolutely, no, you gotta go in a little.
Yeah, you gotta go in the middle.
You gotta put your
We're
whole head in.
closing tight here, babe.
Yeah. Say hi.
Yay.
Love
So-
chatting with you.
Yeah, so anyone who is a wine club member, it is Jen and her team that always takes such great care of you, and she's utilizing the chat, and it sounds like one of you guessed Malbec, so thank you.
I'm
not
actually-
alone for Malbec.
Yeah, yeah, and I
There
can
we go,
see
you got
that.
it, yep, there you go, thank you. But we did agree on Grenache,
Yeah,
so it could go either way.
yeah.
That's a fun thing, we're only gonna decide the last piece, the rest of them, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
what we
Well, you guys will decide the last piece.
Yes, you
Yes.
will decide the last piece, but you have to wait till the wine releases to see exactly what wine is gonna be paired with this. Okay, I
Awesome.
think we're gonna
We're
go
going
on
to
to the next one, yep. Gonna get our lovely assistant Jack to take Monica's piece.
I've been staring at this little guy in the corner.
Here we go, okay. This is by artist Jeff Long. He is a local Sonoma County artist. He is known for his abstract paintings. He also obviously paints animals, books, and abstract architecture. When I asked him, why the owl? He said that when throughout wine country, you will see these barn owl nest boxes throughout the wine country because it is the best way to prevent the rodents from getting to the vineyards. The negative side is to use chemicals, which not only can harm other animals, it can do damage to the soil of under the vineyards. So he basically said that the owl is the hero of the vineyards, providing free environmental services and beauty.
I love that because I mean, you know, our sister winery Benziger focuses on biodynamics, and we definitely have our owl boxes at all of our biodynamic vineyards. Imagery Estate, our vineyards out front, and our Sunny Slope vineyard too, are all farmed biodynamically and have those owl boxes as well. So that's really neat. I love that you asked him why the owl, and that was his answer.
Yeah, that was his answer. Not only is it free, it's beautiful to look at as well. So I'm so happy that he incorporated this into his watercolor and wash on paper work of art. Jeff Long, again, is the artist. But the main reason why I wanted this to be part of the 4 is because occasionally we will get animals. And for some reason, for me, it is the hardest work to pair with wine when there's an animal involved.
Yeah,
Now this,
because you gotta name the animal and then put it to a label.
yeah, and the else kind of tilting at you like, yeah, you're so sweet, and but for me, this was reading Teraldigo for some reason, and this is actually Jeff Long's second piece that he has created for us. And I looked back, his first one was also paired on a Teraldigo. So I think it's just for me, the color palette and the subject matter maybe just gravitate towards the Teraldigo wine label, but I thought I'd figure out what Jamie thought about it as well.
Well, I'm not gonna, just because of that story too, I almost wanna say it should go on maybe Estate Merlot or the Estate Cab too.
Yeah.
Only because of the owl you know, being, but I mean, we utilize owl boxes at all of our vineyards, whether it's sustainable, organic, or biodynamic, and so, geez.
Yeah, do we have anyone in the chat box?
I almost think too that this could go on a white.
Lagrind, we got a Lagrind.
Lagrind, oh, I like the Lagrind.
Does anyone see white, or are we only seeing a red?
Yeah.
We're getting some thumbs up for some white.
Yeah.
I can see some white going on this.
I could maybe even, I'm trying to think.
Like a Riesling?
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wowie.
Wowie, okay,
Whoa.
oh, that's another good one.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know, yeah, I just see a little, like, it definitely can go on a red, but I do see a little bit of like
a white.
white aspect to it.
I think for me,
sure.
it's like the sky background,
Yeah.
since it's giving me these moody vibes, I'm thinking more of a red versus
Yeah.
a white, although the owl's face is like mostly.
I know I know too that you, his eyes look like blueberries.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks like blueberries to me, but I know Kara always, she has a artist every year that's already making
Yeah.
for the code blue, where we ferment Syrah and blueberries together.
Yeah, so this is the joy of having it be a live event, and we're gonna talk about the code blue,
Oh,
but
sorry.
for those of you who don't know, we make a code blue, and it's about 80% Syrah and about 20% blueberries, give or take, every year. Not only when I commission the artists, they have to incorporate the Parthenon, for the code blue, they also have to incorporate blueberries. And this is all thanks to Jamie's dad, Joe. So I remember when Joe came up to us, he said, can we get the artist to also put blueberries in the piece? And I'm like, oh no. You're gonna make me ask them to do that, but a lot of artists have really fun with that. So,
Yeah.
No, this wasn't made for the code blue.
No, I know, but yeah, and I do, I mean, I see the whole red aspect also, like, just in his face, and, man, he is cute. Yeah, so we'll see, but,
Yeah.
I love that you guys are all chiming in.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it'll definitely stick with us when it comes October, November.
Yeah, especially with the animal pieces. Those are hard ones.
They are hard.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go on to the next one.
Yeah, but before we go on to the next one, we'll put our third piece of artwork on our display. But before we do that, I feel bad. You guys want help?
Jamie.
Okay, so next we have our 2020 Cabernet Franc. And this is one of our top selling reds. And Cabernet Franc, you know, I don't think it gets enough credit for the great variety it is. And it is so interesting. Obviously, it's one of the 5 Bordeaux you know, grape varieties, you know, and put into a lot of Bordeaux style blends. But this Cabernet Franc is a blend of 2 different vineyards. And that's what makes this so interesting is Cabernet Franc, when it's grown in different regions and different climates, has different, you know, flavors, styles, mouthfeel and all that. So part of this wine comes from a cooler climate vineyard in southern Sonoma, and the cooler climate creates kind of more tannin structure, and more of your, I would say, green bell pepper notes, which is you know, kind of what Cabernet Franc typically reveals, is kind of that bell pepper. But this isn't like really green, it's more like a sweet bell pepper, so it's welcomed. We welcome it in this blend. And then the other part of it comes from our Sunny Slope vineyard right here in Glen Ellen, and that is more of a hotter climate. We consider it kind of the Napa of Sonoma, and the Cabernet Franc that comes off that has less tannin structure and more red fruit flavors to it. So, you know, the blend together just makes this, you know, very stylistic and true to the Cabernet Franc variety, but also lends itself some complexity, great mouthfeel, you know, kind of lingering tannins on it. I think this wine will age really nicely, but it's tasting great right now.
Yeah, you can drink it now or
yeah.
save it, fiber it and drink it later. So why
the
is
nose
this?
on it.
I know, but
Great.
I love the nose. I always say I like to eat my wine. I love
Yeah.
when you can smell it, you just want to eat it. It's so good.
And you know what's really cool? We like with Imagery and the program that I got was so fortunate to be handed down to is the growers that we work with. Obviously about 50% we farm ourselves, but then the other 50% are outside growers, and they just do a phenomenal job every year. They keep it consistent. They're passionate. A lot of them are, you know, families here in Sonoma County. And so every year we just get this, amazing quality. Obviously Mother Nature helps with that as well. Sometimes she's not so nice, sometimes she is. Yeah, I'm loving the nose on it.
Why is this your favorite wine? Is there?
So why it's my favorite wine is because I just really don't think Cab Franc gets the credit it deserves, and 100% Cab Franc's really hard to find, and I think this is a true expression of different areas of Sonoma County. And obviously me being born and raised in Sonoma County, I am, I love this place, and we are able to grow and produce so many different varieties because of the soils, the microclimates, the different elevations that we have as well. And so to be able to blend kind of two different vineyards of Cabernet Franc to create this wonderful, wonderful wine, this is why it's, one of my favorite reds. And I would say it's kind of more medium to a little heavier style of Cabernet Franc, but it's some Cabernet Franc can be very angular and a little harsh, and this has like just some softness to it, I think.
Yeah. Well, going into this piece, we obviously would love it to be paired with a red wine, hence to pair it with we're drinking it with the Cab Franc. But this is by Julika Lanker. She is a Los Angeles artist. She also gave me a heads up that the storm is going to hit Los Angeles at the same time we're doing this. So just kind of going back to the fact that if for any reason anybody in California loses power or connection, this is being recorded, so you can watch it at a later date. But this is from her Twilight and Linear Landscape series. She paints from photographs and observation. So a lot of the times our artists are not local, and what we do for the non-local artists is we send them photographs and images of different angles of the Parthenon at the Benziger property. And she took those photographs to paint the Parthenon, and then she imagined what a wine country sunset would look like. And I think she absolutely nailed it. Obviously it is an abstract sunset landscape, but her process is extremely interesting because she works with two main mediums. The first is acrylic. So she'll paint the background acrylic, and then she'll also paint the hills over here and what you see that's dark in acrylic. Then she does these color bands, these horizontal color bands that she paints in oil paint. And the reason she does this is because oil stays wet longer, and so she's able to kind of blend the colors easier on the color bands over here. Not only that, she also adds depth to the painting. So you'll notice that the color bands are thicker on the top, and then when they get to the horizon, they thin out. So this is her interpretation of a wine country sunset. I right away thought a red wine, but is there a white wine that you think it could get paired with, or are you thinking?
I kind of, you might be a little sure, I kind of thought White Burgundy.
Oh,
But what I love that, like she.
I can see that actually.
Yeah,
because of it's the background, right?
Yeah,
the colors.
Yeah, and yeah, just like when I see blue, I think also Malbec. Because for me, Malbec has a lot of blue fruits to it. But I also love that like the Parthenon is not white.
Yes. I did not notice, now that you say that, you're right. A lot of artists will do the Parthenon in a white color, which is traditional, but to see it in the black. Yeah. But I think that's more, you can see it's a little white over there, but the sun setting, it probably is.
I was too, I could see, and this is like a totally different direction. Like, maybe tonight. It's not, I mean, normally we go really dark for tonight and Petite Sirah.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Maybe I'm in like a weird mood today, like, I don't.
so I was this way with this piece too. I was all over the board. There wasn't any wine that really
Yeah.
stuck out to me in this piece. I threw out Cab Franc,
Ooh, okay.
Malbec, and oh shoot.
I could see that wrong too.
Yeah, because and it's such
Yeah.
a beautiful piece, and I know a lot of people will really love like the color aspect and the contrast of it being
And
lighter and darker.
Right below the Parthenon, at the Benziger estate, this is all Cab Franc.
Oh,
That the grapes underneath, they're all Cab Franc.
oh,
What do you guys think?
I think we might have decided. Yeah, we're getting some thumbs up.
Yeah. That's, I
I'm
just,
using Earthy Estate Wine.
Ooh.
Earthy Estate wine, that's
Okay.
good.
Era, Malbec,
okay,
I
yeah.
can throw out Malbec.
Mm-hmm,
Pinot,
yeah,
Oh, then
no, Nouveau.
Syrah.
Oh, I see,
Yeah.
other people are getting a little, yeah, I like it.
I think it's because it's so light in contrast with the dark, so it can go so many different directions, hence why we're so confused. So thank you for everybody giving your input. What Jen's writing this all down too, so all of your input is definitely gonna be with us when we assign the art to wine after this harvest.
Oh, this is awesome, I love this.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do another wine and art reveal party, because this is too much fun.
I know, are you guys all having fun?
Yeah,
Yeah, would you guys do this again with us? Get a little
What time are we
sneaky,
at?
yeah, 4:30.
oh,
Oh, we're doing great
no,
on
we're
time.
going fast, yeah, we are.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going on to the last and final piece. Hand it to Jen. Thank you, Jen. So we are gonna leave time at the very end. Well, this is the piece we are gonna vote on. We are gonna take a vote. And while Jen is tallying up all the votes, we are gonna take some questions as well. So if you guys have anything that you're thinking of, please write in the question box and then we can answer those as well. So this piece is by Amy Farron. She is a Washington artist. Is there anybody from Washington State? Got anyone from Washington State? Oh, we got a thing, okay. Oh, it's Amy. Is that Amy? Hi, Amy. Amy's here.
Yes,
So this is the piece that she created for Imagery, and she was absolutely delighted when I asked her to create this because her two favorite things are art and wine. Not only is she a professional artist, her and her husband are amateur winemakers. That's coming from her. I would have said, now I want to try your wine to see if you actually are amateurs. You might make really great wine. So she was really excited to do this project, and she started working with art with fabrics and quilting, and that transitioned into this collage aspect. At the end, I'll get it closer so you guys can get more of a glimpse of it. But she likes to mix unique shapes and colors to create these very creative collages. And Amy, I did not notice this, which I am actually kind of slightly embarrassed, but there is a woman tasting.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, you
So
so
cool.
this is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna come
Hold it
up
up
with.
closer.
So, right here, this is the Parthenon, and there is this woman right here. I don't know, can you guys see it? Can we see the woman? A little thumbs up, yep.
Yeah.
And she is tasting under the Parthenon. And this just made me love the piece even more so. And what Amy said was that she would love to join the woman tasting under the Parthenon. So Amy, when you get a chance, you need to come to Imagery. You got to see the Parthenon. You'll have to see your piece up in the in our collections room, and we'll have to do a great tasting because you got to be that woman in your piece tasting the wine under the Parthenon.
I love that.
So right away, I personally thought that it had to be paired with a white wine. It seems super summery to me. This has really bright, vibrant colors. The light blue is giving me just light blue kind of summer vibes out in the vineyards, I mean, we have a botanical garden here at Benziger, so I was kind of getting the connection between the two wineries too.
I don't think we should sway them, Kara.
Oh,
You guys are voting for this.
We're not supposed to sway.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I
think, Jamie,
think this could go
You know,
white or
like
red.
like a light red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I thought of a couple different wines. I
Yeah.
definitely did. But this is the piece of artwork that we want you guys to type in the chat and vote on, and we will reveal
At the end of the event.
at the end of the event.
what
So
will be
we
paired.
don't want to sway, but
We don't, I mean,
um,
honestly, it could go rosé too.
ooh,
We got some,
Yeah.
we got some peak tones in here and it could go a little bit of rosé.
I think there's so many different wines this could go on.
Maybe we should give them 3 options to vote on.
Oh, 3 options.
We have
Okay.
the 3 options.
So, okay, what would be a white?
Okay, let's go back and forth. You say one first and then I will and then you will.
So I think Viognier. Yeah.
Okay,
What about, do you think, you said rosé, what do you think?
I personally, it's giving me Wowee vibes.
Wowie, okay, yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Yeah, Wowee is like our Sauv Blanc based wine and I always drink Wowee on really hot summer days. This is giving very summer vibes.
Yes.
I'm all about it.
Okay, yes.
I'm a big summer girl. I'm in love with this piece.
Yeah, I do think, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we got
Viognier,
Viognier,
Wowee.
Wowee. Let's really look for today. Oh, okay.
Rosé.
I think
Ooh.
it's because typically we try to pick a rosé piece that has a ton of pink in it. I think it would be really fun to do one that just has very,
Yeah.
it's very subtle. We got some pink flowers here.
Yeah.
Again, this is all collage work. When I brought it up close, you probably could have seen like the texture to the collage of all of this.
Well, and our Aleatico rosé is extremely floral. Like, I mean, not extremely floral, but it has those
The
kind of like, those notes of like roses and like, you know,
Yeah.
type of thing.
I think it'd be fun to pick a piece that didn't have a ton of like, you know,
Yeah.
or wasn't overpoweringly pink
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Just like subtle
I
pink
agree.
vibes.
And then I don't know why, but maybe it's because of past pieces.
Yeah.
I was also potentially thinking Nor Nouveau.
Oh.
Our Pinot that is blended with a little
That's
bit
actually-
of Mourvedre and Syrah. So I was kind of thinking that also, it just has that elegance to it. And
Yeah,
Amy, I mean, how long did this take you to create? Cause just being this close to this piece of artwork makes like
you
the
see
details.
the details of the collage. work
Yeah.
on top of it.
Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if we can unmute Amy and it's hard, that's a hard answer.
Yeah, sorry.
That's hard to answer, how long did this take? you?
Yeah,
Because
I
I
guess-
heard some artists say it took me, you know, 35 years because I needed 35 years of experience to make this work of art, but Amy, you have an answer.
This was a perfect, I don't know if I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting a request to bring it closer. Okay, so we narrowed it down to 4 wines. I know we were supposed to do 3, but sorry, Jen, we got 4. And it's Viognier. What'd you say?
Viognier, Wowie, Aleatico, and Nor Nouveau.
Okay, so those are your 4 options. So out of those 4, write in the text box what you think Amy's piece should be paired with. Amy, you can vote too.
I will.
Oh, here we go. We got Amy on.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it. This was a winter project and I did this in the dark of January and it was so delightful to do because all I could think of was the lightness of a beautiful, I love the Albariños, the rosés, all that stuff that was going to come when the sun came out in Washington, which takes a while. So it was a really fun thing for me to do. And I'm just delighted you like it. So thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's- The level of detail in it is absolutely phenomenal. And that's what I love about like just an artist's way of, you know, working, and then same with like a winemaker, like you just, that level of detail in every aspect, just is extremely important and personal too. So that's why I, you know, getting handed down, you know, and you as well, like with the imagery portfolio of wines and artwork, like just the two and two just go so well together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an honor to be a part of this amazing program.
Yeah, Jamie and I, we always say we had really big shoes to fill.
I say big little shoes because that's true. But he, you know, he's a big personality.
Yeah, big personality, but you know, Jamie was putting in the footsteps of her dad, Joe Benziger, and I was putting in the footsteps of Bob Nugent, the curator, and just these my response is that we really were taught by the best. They did an amazing job with the Imagery brand, and I feel like we took it and then just added our own stamp to it. It took a couple of years for us to feel more comfortable to put our stamp on the Imagery brand, but I feel like right now you're getting 100% Jamie and Kara, which I absolutely love. It makes the job fun, and I can't even use the word job when I describe what we do for a living. And for me, the main reason that I love my job is working with artists like yourselves and all the artists I get to work with, and just curating this amazing collection. So thank you to, I know we got at least a dozen artists on here, so thank you for participating and being a part of it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Jen's still tallying up the votes, but do we have some questions?
Yes.
Okay, got some questions.
Yeah, we're talking a lot about wines. Can Jamie give us a little update on the 2023 harvest?
Can I?
How long do we have?
Yeah. 2023, so we had a very cold, wet winter, in a lot of areas, especially the high elevations. We had like feet of snow where we normally wouldn't. So the ground stayed cold for quite some time, and that postponed bud break. In some areas with some varieties, it also prolonged flowering, which means we are seeing a later harvest and a lighter harvest with some areas and some varieties. So it's August, what's the date today?
The 20.
August 20, is it the 20th? 20. August 20th. So August 20th, and we are anticipating harvest to probably start in the middle of September. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but like normally mid-August, everyone is so anxious to start, and it's just a little scary because you don't want those early rains like October, November, because you're still waiting for things to mature. So we're hoping for a little bit more heat to come our way. The hurricane and some of the tropical aspects of it are coming up north, which isn't the best, but we're anticipating a great harvest. Like I was just in our Sunny Slope and Imagery vineyards, we're probably at like 50% Eurasian in those, and those are all Bordeaux varieties. But we're looking at kind of normal size clusters, but smaller berries. So we're thinking concentration. 2023 is going to be concentration. And we're gonna have to be careful in the winery to manage tannins, which we know how to do, so we're not worried about it. But you know, so far it's looking like a good year. It might be later, but we're just, gonna be patient. Might be working into Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, don't tell me.
But that's okay. This is the job that we signed up for. And so I think we'll know too in the next, a few weeks with the weather. We might get pushed ahead a little bit more. Normally around Labor Day, we have that heat spell of 100 degrees, give or take. So we're hoping it just reaches like 90. Because that's like 85, 90s, a great maturing temperature for grapes. Once they reach above, the temperature reaches above 95, the vines tend to shut down, actually. So they almost go in defense mode. So you're not really accumulating that maturity, those sugar levels, and dropping out the acidity. So 85 to 90 degrees, we're looking like is in the weather forecast. Please, Mother Nature, be nice.
Yeah.
But other than that, things are going great, so we're gearing up. It's just gonna be a waiting game this year, probably.
Yeah, because by now, in previous years, you would have already started harvest.
Probably in the next week or so,
Yeah.
we probably would have started harvest. But it gives us more time to do these fun events and, you know, and get our crush pad and all our equipment ready. You know, get our temporary seasonal employees here on site, you know, which we hire about 4 to 5 of them on a given year. And, but yeah, so it's good. We have a little bit longer of a summer. We can't be mad at that.
Yeah, we're not complaining by any means.
Maybe some vacation days, might take some PTO. Yeah. Any other? Oh, yes.
So we did want to talk about our club Avant-Garde. It is, Jamie can talk about the wine, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the art aspect about this club Avant-Garde. So it is we get a lot of people coming into Imagery and they want to know if they can purchase the wine or the art. The art is not for sale at Imagery. My response to that is we have labels, look at the artist's name. A lot of them have websites. You can check out their website and see not only their dealers or anyone who represents them, or you can contact them directly to purchase the work of art. Now, we have gotten such a high demand of people wanting to actually purchase the pieces on site. And what we have done for our older pieces where, you know, it's 700 is a lot of works of art, we created this club Avant-Garde. And the wine aspect.
Yeah, so it's smaller lot production wines, where a lot of it is 150, 200 case production. There are some wines that are a little bit more, but case production, but they're wines that are hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Like they just fly off the shelves pretty fast. So this club, you have access to that.
Those wines. And a lot of the wines that won't even make it to the tasting room. So
Yeah.
you're getting these wines that are not even available to the public. But the other aspect is that every fall we do this auction of artworks, and it's anywhere between 4 and 6, and they're pieces that the wine has retired and we're no longer pouring it, and the artist is informed of it, but basically all of the proceeds from this silent auction go to the nonprofit organization Becoming Independent, which is a local nonprofit organization in Sonoma County. They're based out of Sonoma and Santa Rosa, and they help adults with disabilities. And they have this art program for the adults with disabilities, and we donate all the proceeds of the art to the art program. So we're giving back to our community, which was a huge highlight for me to give back to our community in Sonoma County. But also we are providing these wine club members with a work of art versus just storing it, because obviously it's impossible to show 700 works of art in our tasting room. So just a little introduction into that. If you guys want to learn more about it, obviously we can get Jen to send you some more information. But this is the Avant-Garde Wine Club. There's also information on the website on it as well.
And the nonprofit Becoming Independent is very near and dear to my family. I have 2 cousins that actually have cerebral palsy and are a part of this organization, and Becoming Independent has really helped him. You know, as he has a caregiver and all that, but he you know, lives on his own and you know, can do so many things you know, by himself, and this organization Becoming Independent has helped him achieve this, which is absolutely phenomenal. And
not only like her cousin being a part of it, Bob Nugent, the original curator, was on the board of directors for quite some time at the Becoming Independent. So there's just a full circle with the winery and this nonprofit organization. And you guys have a chance to bring home a beautiful work of art. So it's
which I'm surprised that even was an option when we created this club. It's so fun and cool, but it's always been our philosophy that this collection would always stay together. So it's a rare and cool opportunity to be able to get an amazing, just probably, you know, an expensive piece of artwork. And all of the pieces that are created are just absolutely phenomenal. Like if you have one in your
Yes.
home, it'll make that wall look amazing.
And I curate artists of all different aesthetics, and
Yeah.
different subject matters, working with different mediums, so there will always be something in the collection that gravitates to you, because we try, you know, imagery is about being unique and fun, and we try to not be just a one-note person with the wines, and I'm not a one-note person when it comes to curating
Mhm.
artists. I try to have everyone have different, backgrounds in their work of art. So there will always be something that you will enjoy, not only for the Club Avant-Garde, but just walking into Imagery and
Yeah.
seeing all of the art in our art gallery. Like I said, we have over 100 works of art at Imagery right now for you to see, and just artists from all over, not even the United States, but all over the world. We have artists from Europe, Canada, Mexico, Cuba, Brazil. I mean, this whole collection is absolutely amazing. A lot of times when I reach out to artists and I tell them about this, they kind of get like, oh, it's a little gimmicky. And then I show them the artist list and they're like, okay, all right, you're legit, you got some good people on here. And the artists that we work for are just absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
so.
And how do you submit art?
Submit art, so.
To be reviewed?
Yes, yeah, so if anyone's asking to submit art, we get about 100 submissions a year. We have a PDF file that we can email to you. So is there a way to Jen for them to contact you and then we can send them the PDF artist submission? Okay, so if anyone is interested in submitting their work, email to this and we will send you the PDF artist submission. We commission artists based off their overall body of work. So we do not commission the work of art. We commission the artist first and then contract and then create the work of art. I've had a lot of people show up with painting with the Parthenon at the winery, like, can this go to wine people? It's like, that's just not, we gotta look at your whole body of work, commission you first, and then you create a work of art for a wine label. So yes, we do take submission. I would say out of the 30, the majority of the artists that I find is from being a curator. So just like a curator would find artists to do an exhibition for a museum or a gallery, I do a lot of research. I go to different cities throughout the United States and go to different galleries. I'm part of different art magazines, art fairs. We just had the San Francisco Art Market last May, and it was a great opportunity to see art that I had never seen before. And then we also really do try to bring back or give back to our art community. We have an amazing group of artists in Sonoma County and Napa and Marin County. So the list goes on. And for the first time ever, I actually have I have a waiting list for next year. This is the first time ever I have a waiting list for next year for art. So I already have 15 artists for the 30 spots for next year. And I'm just so excited that the Imagery brand is getting out there and artists are wanting to participate. And it's not as much as me coming out to artists, but them coming out and reaching out to me to be a part of the Imagery brand. So yeah. Do we have any other questions, Jen, or?
Don't think so, but we have a winner.
We have a winner. Oh, I'm excited.
I love hearing Kara kind of yell. She's so, you're so reserved. I love it. I came into the room today and I was like, hello, and Kara's like, I'm here. I was like, yeah, okay, we got this.
Yeah, I'm a very conservative person, but then when I get excited, it's just, yeah.
All right, drum roll.
All right, here.
Okay, this is going on our 2023 Alianico Rosé. Oh my God, I love this.
I love it. I love these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is awesome. This is so exciting.
This will look so pretty. So, the bottle that this wine goes into is called a Hawk wine bottle. So it's like really skinny, long one. And I think this will be absolutely fantastic. Now I get to, try and match the color of the rosé. So I have some stuff to work with now. I know what the color of the rosé needs to be. Yeah, we got the salmon. So like, if you guys don't know, rosé can be so many different colors. I'm sure if you're rosé drinkers, you know, but you have like salmon color, you have ballet slipper pink, you can have like a big, like, vibrant, kind of, pink. to it.
That could be light pink, medium pink,
Yeah.
dark pink, okay. Well,
Fun.
this
And all the colors are good. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited. I
It's
think we're
perfect.
yelling. I'm yelling.
Sorry, we're a little excited.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Do you guys have any other questions?
We have one question.
Yeah.
From Claudia. Is there any difference between the 2019 and the 2020 vintages other than the grapes?
Like are you talking about the harvest year or, sorry, Claudia, other than the grapes, are you talking about like how the weather was?
Give me a vintage overview.
Of vintage, so 2019, actually, I'm trying to think, 2019, we had a great year. It was really good. We had like kind of moderate, we were able to have long hang time, all that. 2020 was a little different. We had the fires here that happened in August. So 2020 was a little bit more difficult of a harvest. But I only bottled what I thought was of quality to go into the bottle. So there's probably about 7 or 8 different wines that I end up not bottling because we had so many different fires here in Sonoma County that kind of disrupted things. But the wine that went into the bottle are tasting great for the 2020 vintage. So 2019, we didn't have to battle fires in any of our vineyards. It was, kind of an easy vintage, I would say, easier vintage. But yeah, great hang time. A little windy at the end of it. We had some rain at the end too, but still had some great quality coming out of 2019. 2020, like I said, fires, but what went into the bottle is tasting great. Made sure of it. It was hard to say, no, we can't bottle this, but at the end of the day, that's just what you have to do. We don't want to give you guys taste too much ashtray, so that's the differences kind of between the two harvests. So
Yeah.
Sonoma County was kind of covered in smoke, all of the 2020 vintage. But the thing that you guys don't know about smoke taint and smoke is the volatile, and I might be getting too technical here, and excuse me, you guys, can thumbs down if too much to listen to. But the volatile compounds in the smoke, they die after a certain amount of time. So even though smoke lingers in the vineyard, it doesn't mean that the vineyard's getting smoke taint. It's if the fire's really up close to that vineyard and the volatile compounds are active and alive, that's where they affect the grapes. But just because the smoke is covered in smoke doesn't mean that the compounds, so like when we see like smoke coming down from Canada fires or the Klamath fire and stuff, and we have smoke in the air, probably all the volatile compounds have already died off, so we're not of concern with the smoke taint aspect. And we've been doing so many trials and testing. We've been doing baseline studies. So years we don't have fires, we will test all the different varieties for those smoke taint compounds because they are naturally in grapes, in some grapes, like Syrah, for instance. When you have 100% Syrah, you get those kind of smoky, kind of barbecue type of notes from the Syrah. So those Syrah has kind of higher notes. But yeah, so we're doing baseline studies. We're doing all we can to, understand it because we're not going to get rid of it. And every year we will probably have to deal with it or, of some sort, I guess. Yeah.
Any more? Yeah, she just went a little bit further into it, like, are you using different barrels or anything different in the bottling process in the 2019 versus 2020?
Okay. Yeah.
Further, what makes the difference year to year? And it's really what you went over.
Yeah.
It's really about Mother Nature and what Mother Nature has to give to us, because
Yeah, so every year it's mostly, Mother Nature, it's the vintage, it's the year we get, like I said, this year we have smaller berries. So the tannins, we have to be really careful about how many tannins we extract. We'll probably have great color, I'm assuming. And then barrel influence, we might, lean back on some of the new barrels that we use, because new barrels do give, wood tannin to the wine. So all that stuff is determined day to day. That's what I love about winemaking, is it's hands-on. And my dad always taught me, you have to, be hands-on, tasting the wine every day, because at the end of the day, you have to make those decisions. Yeah,
Yeah, it can change.
yeah, it can.
Do we have any other questions?
No, okay.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you guys have any feedback, don't hesitate to reach out. But I personally had a lot of fun.
This was fun.
And,
This was a blast.
I don't mind coming in and working on a Sunday for these types of things.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
But I'm totally down to do it again.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and getting to see all these different pieces of artwork, and you guys had the first glimpse. That's I don't know, I think that's really cool and special.
Yeah.
So
Definitely
cheers
huge.
to all of you guys.
Cheers. Thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Cheers, lady. Love ya.
Love you.